All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto Genesis. My name is Nico van der Berg, and today we're going to speak about Bitcoin. So I'm going to share my chart with you, and let's get going. So over here on Bitcoin, we're on the weekly chart. We can see that we are still being supported by this 55 exponential moving average. It's this orange moving average running through here. And the reason why I started on this weekly chart today, because we're pretty much still in the same zone as what we've been speaking about over the last couple of days. For full transparency, I have opened a second position for my buy orders. So I had my buy orders at $8,100, $8,000, and my last one is still lying open. It's at $7,900. So right now, yesterday, if I go over to the daily chart, you'll see, I just want to move myself down here. You'll see that we actually did wick down and we got filled on the $8,000 buy order. I'm still expecting a little bit of downward movement and maybe a little bit of sideways curving up. Something like this, something like a quick spike down maybe, and then we start moving up, and then we might see a bounce. There's a couple of things, like I've said before in my previous videos, that are lining up with this analysis. And I just want to speak about the trade that I'm getting involved in. The reason why I'm happy to put my risk at this pivot point right here in the market is a couple of reasons. First off, the weekly chart is showing that this is being supported by this exponential moving average right here. And it happens to be the middle point of this falling channel, as well as our long-term trend line running from the beginning of this year, essentially from the 28th of January. We have been forming this trend line. We have respected it once, well, a couple of times, not just once. Once, two, three, 4 times already. This would be the 5th time if we do respect it. And if we break this to the downside, I'm happy to take that loss. That's something I want to be completely clear on. I am happy to take a loss. It's part of the trading game. It's part of the trading plan as well. We do take losses. Every single trader does take a loss, and that's completely natural in the game of trading. So that's why I'm happy to put my risk at this level. I do have my stop loss in at around about 7,700. I'll show you just now. The reason why is it's just below these prior wick lows. So I've got my stop loss at about 7,700. What I'll do is at some point, once all of my orders have been filled and I'm completely in the market, I'll show you guys my open position again with the risk management in place. And if this trade does turn against me, I'm happy to take that little bit of a loss, and I'll switch to shorting. Because if we break this trend line to the downside, like I've said before, and we break this a very pivotal moment, this pivotal area in the market, I will switch to bearish, and essentially I will be looking for targets much lower, around the the upper parts of 5,000, anywhere from 5,800 all the way to 6,000, the low 6,000s. It's going to be around about this area right here that I'm going to be targeting. On this chart, it's $5,833, and I would say up to $6,200. So it would be a $400 range that I'll be targeting to the downside if we break this trend line. I'll then be looking for this downtrend to continue to the downside. So on this, the shorter term, we are in a downtrend for the last couple of months. We have been trending down. We have this support that have become resistance. That's a typical indication that we are in a trend to that particular direction. In this case, it's to the downside. However, we might have an opportunity to see some change of behavior here. The reason why I'm saying that is we have this high, this prior swing high right here. We have a brand new swing high right here at the top. We had a swing low right there. And this could be at the potential swing low, again making a lower low than our previous low. We've got a higher high than our previous high. So if we can continue this trend on the short term to the upside and continue to make higher highs and higher lows, that's where I'll be targeting moves up to the 2019 all-time high of approximately $14,000. So the other reason why I'm happy to put my risk at this zone is if I put on the volume profile. It's just a tool that I use as well. It's free on TradingView. If I put on the volume profile, we can see that this particular zone that we're moving in right now, is a traded zone. And you can see a lot of buying and selling taking place in this particular area, which does put uh, a little bit of tension on the bulls. We want to see them react on this area, and I'm expecting quite an aggressive reaction from the bull side to push the price back up. If we don't see that reaction from the bulls and the bears do manage to push price lower, that's why I said, I'm happy to take that loss and switch to shorting if that does occur. So our volume profile is showing that this is a highly traded zone. If I do switch off my volume profile real quick and I switch off all of my drawing tools, you'll see that we are being supported by this exponential moving average, this light blue moving average. We actually did wick down to it, or well, not yet. We haven't really touched it yet, but close enough is close enough when it comes to these kinds of setups and scenarios. I still have one open order left at $7,900. So if we do see a wick down, I'll be fully filled with my position, and I'll be happy to risk manage from this point. If we do see that close below, if I just bring my tools in again, if I do see that close below this trend line and the support area, then obviously I'll take that loss with a smile on my face, because that shows me that this pivot point is probably going to act as a resistance, and then I'll be more than happy to short Bitcoin down. So with that being said, also the other thing, like I said in yesterday's video, if I just take away these exponential moving averages, if I bring in my Fibonacci retracement and I take it from that swing low to the swing high, this does line up with our 78.6% retracement level. Depending on how your settings are on this Fibonacci retracement, if it's on log scale, it might be a little bit lower. Mine was on log scale. If it's on a regular and I switch on my moving averages, you'll see it perfectly lines up with that blue exponential moving average that I was speaking of earlier. So this is showing that this is an area of high confluence. And of course, if you do look at volume, volume is tanking at the moment. We don't see a lot of volume in the market. If you look at the volume bars there at the bottom, we don't see a lot of volume. If you look at the volume bars here at the bottom of the screen, so that does suggest that there's not a lot of trading taking place at the moment, or not a lot of volume taking place at the moment. And usually this happens before we see the next volatile move to the upside or to the downside. I just want to see if there's anything I wanted to discuss other than that. So if we look at the real volume on the top 10 exchanges right now, we are below $300 million again for Bitcoin specifically, because that's the asset that we're trading. And this does suggest that when volumes are this low, like I've said in prior videos, it does mean that the market is a lot more volatile and a lot easier to move. So the price of Bitcoin is a lot easier to move with these kinds of volumes. And looking at it, we can expect maybe a little bit of sideways movement. Like I said before, maybe we do come down, we wick down, and we do see this before we break to the upside. By the way, the reason why I've got this downward sloping trend line in here, it does line up with our 10 simple moving average. And if I switch the moving averages off, you can see that it has acted as resistance for price before. So for the since the 27th of October, this has been, 26th of October. So it's almost, it's about 3 weeks now. We have been pushing down every single time we test this line. So if we do break this line to the upside, Again, I would just like to discuss my targets. Short-term target where I will be taking some profit off the table is inside of this green box right here. It's approximately between $8,300 and $8,500. If we do manage to get above that, then we push up higher. The next zone that I'll be taking some profits is right here where we line up with this trend line. I will keep some skin in the game, of course. I won't take all of the profits, but I do want to take some profits. You can't be a losing trader. You'll always be a profitable trader if you take profits, right? Makes sense. So I'll take some profits off the table right around here, perhaps see another retest into this green zone, and then I'll probably open some more positions. So always, my mentor used to tell me, always have a trading plan. So trading plans are very, very important. So I'm going to stick to this plan. This is my zone of buying. Remember, this is not financial advice, and I do not suggest that you trade my opinions. This is purely for fun, for myself, and educational purposes. If people find this helpful in any way, because I do love analyzing and trading. I'm a full-time trader, so this is what I do for a living. And cryptocurrency land is definitely the land of opportunity at the moment. We have a lot of volatility in this market, which makes it a lot of fun to trade for me personally as a trader. So just to end off the video as a summary, right now, if we do break this zone, if we close a daily candle below $7,800, not very good at all. That would mean that on the weekly chart we have closed below. Well, if we close a weekly chart, actually, let me put it this way: if we close a weekly chart below $7,900, that's my signal to go short, and that would imply much lower price targets. Like I said, but the upper 5,000s to the low 6,000s. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like the content and you would like for me to post more videos, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to do this every single day, and I hope you stay tuned. Thank you so much. Trade in the green. Cheers. Bye-bye.